Unseke Mazwai say EFF was the brilliant thing, but it was destroyed by Julius Malema's ego. Alright, fine. Let's analyze that statement and see maybe was Nseke Mazwai right or is Nseke Mazwai right with that statement. And was EFF maybe destroyed by Julius Malema's ego or whatever? Let's start by talking about this thing. Okay, before that, hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy whatever that we're doing here, guys. If you like what we're doing here, can you please support us by subscribing, hitting notification bell, and also like and comment on this video. Once again, Mazwai is telling us a very serious statement here. That number one, the first thing that maybe we need to talk about is the destruction of EFF. Is EFF destroyed? Is it irrelevant to the political spectrum? Because you can't say something is destroyed yet it still have relevancy in political spectrum of South Africa. Number two, like is she right by saying that the only thing that destroyed EFF, let's just say we found that it's destroyed for real, or let's just say let's leave the fact that it's destroyed. Let's start by testing this one. Which was it destroyed by Julius Malema's ego?
Was the EFF ever a solution?
The EFF was brilliant, except that
Was.
Okay. I think it was destroyed by Julius's ego. I think if Julius had had someone who could take him on, Julius was surrounded by yes men. And the danger with being surrounded by yes men is that even if you're stupid, the yes men are going to follow you into your stupid revolution. So if he had had people that could take him on and who could challenge him, it would have been more powerful. It could have been the thing. But once you, it's the same thing that I'm scared for MK with Zuma. Once you center it on one person, then the flaws of that person become the party.
The identity
of
the revolution.
What did the ego of Julius Malema had in the EFF growth and EFF destruction, as maybe we check down the line? Number one, let's just check the fact that is there any change between Julius Malema's statement or there is consistency? Let's start here. Julius Malema, according to the media, it's been called a flip-flopper multiple times. But if you check what Julius Malema stood for when he was in ANC, he stood for economic freedom. That is why in there, when he was elected in 2011 Conference of the Youth League ANC, they took a stand that they are going to be the economic freedom fighters, which later became the name of the political party that he currently leads.
We will never polish the issue of land. There is no way, even if you try, comrades, leaders, there is no way you can be diplomatic about the issue of land. The leadership of the ANC must implement the Polokwane resolution. Polokwane said, willing buyer, willing seller has failed. We must find an alternative. You have not come with an alternative. We are giving you an alternative. We must take the land without payment. If you've got an alternative, we are prepared to listen. Nationalization of mines is a resolution of this Congress. So perhaps we'll hear very minimal of Malema's policy on nationalization. Because now it's not Malema. 5,000 plus coming from many, many branches all over South Africa. Nationalization is the policy of the Youth League. We may not agree with the method used in Zimbabwe, but the critical issue is resolved. Land question. We want land. Without land, we are nothing. Why would this South Africa belong to us when we have nothing to show that this South Africa belongs to us? We need the leadership that is ready to resolve this matter. In 2040, not more than 5% will be transferred. What does it mean? It means our economy will still be dominated by the minority. Capital suffers.
The ANC did not listen. We lost 1 million of the youth when Malema left.
True.
Gone. And the ANC Youth League has never recovered. I don't care who says what.
Yeah.
It's never been what it is. And me at that time as a treasurer funded the most expensive youth conference with the biggest amount of delegates, 7,000 since exile. I paid 40 million rand cash for that conference. And 2 weeks later, you've expelled the president. What did you expect? Those guys will follow him. And they did.
So you think that was a mistake that the leadership made at that
The
time?
biggest mistake. They made a mistake.
And then now let's just check. He's been clear from the ANC days that the land must be taken back. That is why Winnie Mandela loved Julius. And if you can listen, there are many videos, multiple videos of Julius Malema that said he wants economic freedom in South Africa. He wants black people to own the land. He wants black people to own the mines and everything. And when you shift to the beginning of the EFF, he was preaching the same gospel. And if you check him today, he still preaches the same gospel. I think the only difference that is there now, it's that the media started attacking the EFF on basis of the foreigners and all those kind of things. As if EFF is the only political party that supports African unity, that support the diversity of our African people in South Africa, that says don't attack people irregardless of how they came to South Africa. Do not launch a xenophobic attack against them. Because the EFF doesn't say people must come to the country undocumented. But it says as much as they came to the country undocumented, you as a documented citizen of this country, you don't have a right to attack them. Remember, with the Constitution of South Africa doesn't protect legal foreign nationals and citizens, but it protects everyone who is in South Africa. That is why we took a stand that South Africa belongs to all who lives in it. It didn't say South Africa belongs to all who lives in it legally so. So for us to take a stand and say Julius Malema on those bases of foreign nationals, then it's wrong. It's really unfair. Number 2, let's just check. The EFF was never in government in South Africa. That's number 1. They never even held any ministry in South Africa, including, I'm just going to talk about this simple one, including the Ministry of Sport that is taken by Gayton McKenzie. The EFF has never held such a position. So for us to come and say that the EFF must be penalized on basis that foreign nationals, they came to South Africa illegally, so it's really unfair, because there are three departments that are responsible to protect our borders. Number 1, it's the Home Affairs that also have the Border Management Police. Number 2 is the SAPS that is also found to search and ensure that things that comes to South Africa or goods that comes to South Africa, they are well vetted and there is nothing like drugs and everything. Then there is military that it's given a chance to also protect our borders. If you go that side of Nkomarti Port next to Mozambique, you will see that there are a lot of soldiers within the lines of the fence. And those soldiers are one of the people that are taking bribes, by the way, so that cars can go to Mozambique and all those kind of things. That's another problem that we need to search, because if I remember when I was still home, that side of Nkomazi, you will discover that there are a lot of cars that are missing. And when they move towards the border. And then we know that they're soldiers. But those soldiers are not doing anything. Those soldiers of Makandamia, they're not doing anything there. You understand? So those are some of the things maybe that I think it's worth being discussed. Yeah, well, so, but is it fair for us to charge Julius Malema and say, on basis of foreigners, Julius Malema had a hand for them to be in South Africa? I don't think it's fair, because EFF was never in leadership and Julius Malema never gave an instruction to the president or to the minister that minister allow foreigners to come. Because even if he gives that, let's just say he gave that instruction, the minister has the whole right to say, Julius Malema, angifuni. Yabo, angifuni. I'm not going to do it, because Julius is not in power. And the minister and the president are in power. He never gave that instruction to any president. So for us to charge him on that basis of foreigners, because that's the only stand that I feel most of the people are opposing Julius Malema for now. And this is not the only thing, by the way. As I said in my previous video, that before each and every election in South Africa, there should be something that is going to be said about the EFF, or there should be something that is going to be said that will make the EFF to be investigated or something. But definitely there should be something. You understand? That should be said at that particular moment. And that on its own, I don't think it's a great idea, because in 2019, if we recall, there was VPS. And VPS extended to 2021. In 2021, then this is the problem. Fine. In 2021, they used VPS as well, sorry. Then in 2024, they used this foreign national thing. Then in 2026, they're planning to use the same thing. And if we check parties like Maibuye, because some of the people, they left the EFF to join Floyd in Maibuye, thinking Floyd will tell them something different. Floyd's identity, it's the same as the one of the EFF. If you read number 130 of Maibuye founding manifesto, and you read number 124, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's 142, something like that, of their founding manifesto, you can see that Maibuye still stands with Africans. As much as the EFF says we are against illegal and undocumented foreigners, but we are saying we're not going to launch an attack against them. That's Julius Malema's crime, because people want to see Julius holding spear, holding guns, or going against illegal foreign nationals so that they can vote for him and say Julius Malema is patriotic in South Africa. Because I think they misunderstood the concept of patriotism. Patriotism, guys, must never be misunderstood into attacking foreigners. Attacking foreign nationals that are coming to South Africa, it's not patriotism, but it's xenophobic. It's Afrophobic. And that's what you guys want Julius Malema to do. And he refused to be xenophobic. And then you say, no, the EFF was destroyed by Julius Malema's ego. Let's check. Is Julius Malema surrounded by yes, sir, according to Ntsiki's statement? Floyd Shivambu told us that Julius Malema wanted someone else to be the Secretary General of the EFF before in 2019 conference of the EFF. Floyd, said no, we must get Marshall, and they chose Marshall, and Marshall became the Secretary General of the EFF. So if Julius Malema was surrounded by yes, sir, because according to Julius and Floyd, they need, like on that one, Julius had his own candidate and Floyd had different candidate. If Julius was surrounded by yes, sir and yes, madam, I don't think Marshall should have been the Secretary General. But Marshall became the Secretary General because Julius is not surrounded by yes, sir and yes, madam. And if you can check, according to what has been said, it's that Marshall and Veronica Mente, who was the chairperson of the EFF, they all came with Floyd, and Julius came with the other two. But it's a story for another day. So guys, I don't know, but I don't think the statement of Ntsiki Mazwai is substantiated. I think the only thing that is happening is that Ntsiki hates Julius, and towards her hate on Julius, then she decided to find something that she can use, and she thought saying that statement can make her relevant. By the way, anyone who wants to trend in South African politics, speak about Julius Malema. I can assure you, you're going to trend. That is why Abo Polifan Vic, they want to be millionaires, and they are selling books about Julius Malema, money, patronage, and power. They write books about that because they know that they will sell thousands of copies and they will make millions out of that. You understand? But well, it's a story for another day. Guys, see you in the next video. Shalom.